Hey guys, I'm gonna be showing y'all how I do a face in black and white. So I'm gonna start off with the eyes, and I'm just gonna try to shape them so that they're like around the same size, and they don't have to be perfect, but they'll just have to be like a similar size and shape so that they look like they belong. But I'll then shade in the corners of the eye to make like a, you know what it is. And then I shade under the nose to just like show where the nose is when we're getting started. And then for the mouth, I'll just like add some lines, make it look juicy, and map out where I want the lips to be shaded. And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna change the opacity so that I can use it to shade under the eyes first, and making sure to darken the outer corners. And I even added a little shine, and I think I did a little, I'm blanking. And then I was starting on the nose, which is just shading to make it look more like round and just cute, you know. And then I'm making the lips look juicier, so I'll just be shading more or less. And I was trying to make it like lip liner and kind of like a more circular, like juicy shape, so yeah. Then I shade the bottom, making sure again that that line down there is facing downwards so that you can make the lips juicier. Then I added a split lip. And I decided to add some eye bags, but y'all don't have to do that. I was just trying to like personalize it a little bit. And then I added more shine over there. I made a mistake, but that's okay. And I was doing the aegyosul, that's how you say it. That's not how you say it probably, but that's how I'm saying it. And then there's the eye bags. And then I shade inside the eyes to add depth to the shape of the eye, just to make it more realistic, I guess. And then I'm adding the pupils, which can be kind of hard if you don't practice, because it's really easy to give someone a lazy eye by doing this. But I was just shading more to make the outline of the pupil softer and more like blendy, I guess. I would then made some eyelids, which was really easy. Okay, then I started adding blush, and to make it more like three-dimensional, I will usually layer on another layer above that just to help it blend out better. And I just, anything to avoid the blending tool, I don't know. I was shading the nose, just adding a lot more shading in. I think this is when I start doing highlights in a second. So I was just doing the little cute jelly art type highlights for this one because they're hard to do. And I like to try new things. And then I started adding just more highlights in other places of my eyes. And I decided to add more character, I guess. The lip highlights are so juicy, but the trick is to just make really small ones to like visualize the little lines on people's lips. Okay, then I started on the face shape, which is pretty easy, but it's hard to make symmetrical, so you might have to erase and try again a few times if you want to get like a really symmetrical face shape. So this is not my best face shape, but that's okay. And I just outline the forehead as well normally, because this one doesn't have hair. It's really important that I did that. Next, I'm adding the eyebrows, because we can't have people looking like Danielle from Cat's Eye. Just kidding. I love her, but eyebrows are hard to get symmetrical too, so you just need like a similar shape, because it's not going to be perfect, especially if you're a beginner. Like, it's not going to be perfect. Yeah, so I think I don't remember when, but I shaded down there, and I will probably what am I doing? Oh, I added some little gaps, so like to make imperfections in the face. You can't really see them, but next I started adding the lashes. It's really important that you make sure that they're going the right way and they don't go the wrong way. Because if they're all facing the wrong way, then it looks weird. Okay, this is when I started shading the forehead. I think I started out way too dark, to be honest, but it's okay because later I'm gonna go over it. I was just making sure to hit all of the spots, like where the hairline would fall up at the top, and shading from there down and on the sides of the face where the skull curves inwards. I was trying to make it more like ombre and add more depth again, which it was way too dark right now, so make sure you watch till the end of the video to see how I fixed it. Okay, then I was messing around with the opacity a little more, making it more blended, but it didn't really work, so instead, well, I guess it was working okay, but don't worry guys, we're gonna fix it later, just trust the process. But yeah, so again, I'm not adding any hair for this one, so if y'all want a hair tutorial, comment below. Okay, from here, we ended up starting to cover our layers with white to try to make them lighter and more, like, unpronounced, which, sorry guys, I didn't realize this at first. So we were just lightening up the corners, and then we started lightening the under eye, either now or in a second. There we go. Because it was too dark, and we wanted to make it look more softer, so we just went over it, and that's how we draw a face in black and white.